Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I will be reviewing Seal's latest concert Blu-ray, Purpose, celebrating 30 years of the classic albums Seal 1 and Seal 2. So it comes in a 4-panel digipack that houses both the Blu-ray and CD of the concert. No booklet is included, but the panels do show the setlist credits and a few photos of Seal. So when Seal released his self-titled debut album in 1991, I was still riding the 80s hair metal express right up until its eventual demise at the hands of grunge a few years later. That said, my musical taste has always been pretty eclectic, and I could absolutely appreciate the British soul pop and R&B sound that made Seal an overnight sensation. I was living in Scotland when his debut album hit number 1 in the UK, and eventually achieved double platinum status there. Since then, it's gone on to sell over 5 million copies worldwide. The buzz around Seal in the UK at the time was incredible. It felt like he was everywhere. His distinctive look with the dreadlocks and heavily scarred face made him instantly recognizable and unforgettable. I love the album from the very first listen, and even 35 years later, I still genuinely enjoy coming back to it. I became an even bigger Seal fan after purchasing the now incredibly rare VHS release that features live acoustic performances of 6 of the songs from that album. It was filmed at Church Studios in London in 1991, and it really showcased just how powerful and soulful he was as a live performer. Thankfully, most of those performances are now available on YouTube, so if you haven't seen them, they're absolutely worth checking out. So this concert was filmed at the Venetian Theatre in Las Vegas in June of 2023 during Seal's 30th anniversary world tour celebrating his first 2 albums. The concert also features Seal's longtime producer Trevor Horn, who not only plays bass in Seal's band, but also performed with his own group, the Buggles. Remember those guys? The opening act on the tour. Interestingly, both artists share the same backing band for the show. When I first saw that this Blu-ray only featured 10-song track list and a runtime of only 77 minutes, I thought it was either a mistake or, God forbid, it was mostly a documentary with only some live performances sprinkled in. Well, fortunately, you do get 10 full song performances, and only about 6 of those 77 minutes are actually interview segments interspersed between some of the song performances. I'm still a little puzzled because Seal reportedly performed 13 songs at this concert, according to the tour setlist, and for reasons that are never really explained, the songs Violet, Don't Cry, and Fast Changes were left off the Blu-ray and CD entirely. But they did choose to keep Get It Together and Love's Divine, tracks that aren't even connected to those first 2 albums. So how was the actual content of the Blu-ray, you ask impatiently? Well, it was pretty damn spectacular in my book. Seal was 60 years old at the time of this performance, and he still looks nearly identical to when he first settled on that trademark bald look about 3 decades ago. And no one else could quite pull off looking so damn cool in a white suit and occasional orange leather jacket quite like Seal does here. His voice has also remained equally ageless and still sounds as soulful and strong as ever. So after a few minutes of interview footage, the show kicks off with Crazy, the lead single off his debut album. It's a fantastic song that really comes alive under Trevor Horn's colorful production and Seal's captivating performance. Immediately my senses were ignited with just how magnificent the Blu-ray picture looks and how perfect the concert audio was mixed. Both are so incredibly immersive that at times I felt like I was sucked into their world and allowed to just wander around the stage and down into the first few rows as I pleased. The next song, The Beginning, is pure dance pop bliss that is elevated by Seal's impressive live vocals. Deep Water starts as a soulful ballad with Seal strumming some clean electric guitar chords as he keeps returning to that poignant lyric, Jade, a shade of pain, and then we die. and then halfway through it explodes into this heavy bass and drum groove that could hypnotize even the most pretentious dance hater into jumping up and shaking that ass. Future Love Paradise surges to life on the back of an intoxicating synth bass groove that keeps the entire crowd moving as Seal delivers yet another soaring vocal performance, guaranteed to put a smile on your face whether you're ready for it or not. Bring It On marks the arrival of his second studio album, and you can immediately hear the evolution toward a more lush, pop-oriented sound. That same polished confidence carries through the era-defining hits Prayer for the Dying and Kiss from a Rose, songs that would go on to define mid-90s pop sophistication. It remains one of the best produced and best sounding albums of its kind, earning a nomination for Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards, while Kiss from a Rose rightfully claimed Record of the Year. Highly produced synth-driven pop doesn't always translate seamlessly to the live stage, but here the songs feel even more powerful in concert. We already know Seal is an exceptional live vocalist and commanding performer, but what truly elevates the experience is his commitment to performing with a top-notch live band, real musicians, real instruments, and no reliance on keyboard-triggered backing tracks or heavy auto-tune, as far as I can tell at least. The result is a show that feels organic, dynamic, and even more emotionally resonant than the studio recordings, a pretty rare feat for music this meticulously crafted. About halfway through the song Killer, Seal was no longer just performing to the crowd, he stepped right into it, wandering into the first several rows, weaving between fans, hugging people, high-fiving, locking eyes, and serenading them at point-blank range. The security was surprisingly relaxed too, almost like this was just one of Seal's private cocktail parties instead of a packed theater with the usual mix of nut jobs you get at these shows. He stayed out there for most of Kiss from a Rose too, and would also return for the epic Love's Divine finale, which felt more like a religious revival than a concert. The cynic in me leaned over to my wife and said, "There's just no way those aren't hand-picked VIPs who paid a shit ton extra to co-star in this video with Seal." But then again, Seal has a reputation for doing this quite regularly, and it certainly comes across as genuine warmth and true appreciation for his fans. Putting aside the short runtime, 3 songs being cut, and interview segments being woven in between some of the performances, the overall production quality of this Blu-ray is outstanding. The 1080p HD presentation is crystal clear with gorgeous color detail throughout. The understated stage design and lighting really worked in its favor too. Instead of an over-the-top light show, we get subtle color shifts that perfectly match the mood of each song. It enhances the music rather than distracting from it, which I really appreciated. On the audio side, you get DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 and LPCM Stereo and Dolby Digital 5.1. If your system supports it, the DTS HD audio is definitely the way to go. There's a lot happening both instrumentally and vocally on stage, and the rear surround channels are used beautifully to layer the sound and immerse you right into the front row. The bass response is especially powerful, actually a tad bit too powerful for my modest home theater system at first, but after dialing back the LFE channel a few dBs, the mix sounded fantastic and very well balanced. The camera direction is mostly excellent, with a strong mix of close-ups and extreme close-ups, and sweeping wide shots that really capture the scale and atmosphere of the performance. My only minor gripe would be the frequent rapid camera cuts and the occasional overuse of crowd close-ups. That said, the energetic editing style does fit the vibe of Seal's live performances and overall musical style. There were no bonus features included with this Blu-ray, which was such a missed opportunity. At a minimum, they should have significantly expanded the interview footage with Seal and Trevor Horn, and also included it as a bonus feature instead of mixed throughout the concert. The set list shown here featured 10 songs and the total runtime was only 77 minutes. As for my ratings of this concert Blu-ray, my overall production rating is a 9 out of 10. And my overall performance rating is also a 9 out of 10. So overall, this concert video stands as a powerful reminder of why Seal became such a defining voice of the early 90s. While the brief runtime, omitted songs, and absence of bonus features prevent this Blu-ray from really feeling truly definitive, particularly when compared to his 2004 Live in Paris DVD, what matters most is the performance itself, and on that front, Seal delivers spectacularly. Though it may not be the comprehensive celebration I had hoped for, it stands as a high-quality, emotionally resonant showcase of two classics albums and a testament to the enduring power and sophistication of Seal's music decades later. All right, that's it for me today. Let me know your thoughts on Seal's Purpose, celebrating 30 years of Seal 1 and Seal 2 in the comments. And please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thanks, and catch you guys next time.